Hey, what's up, you guys? Thank you for joining another Is There More Live. If you're new here, I'm Megan A. Tully. I'm an actor and filmmaker turned content creator and also the host of Is There More, the podcast, where we talk to creators and inspiring people about how they turn their pain into purpose. So, one thing that's interesting about me is I've also been trained by Jaxon J Huffman, who's the CEO of Creators Capital. And he has this creator curriculum that helps creators identify and develop their talent, create and monetize projects, start and grow companies, pitch and execute brand campaigns, and co-buy and operate creator houses. And I've had the pleasure of going through that entire curriculum with him and kind of come out the other side with way better, first and foremost, relationships and mental health, and then on the other side of that is more career success and joy in life. So I'm gonna have Jaxon and Barbara Newman join us today for the live, and let's see if they're here. Hey, hold on, let me get you on here. Hey, what's going on? You look good.
How you doing?
Cowboy hat.
Oh yeah. I'm playing around with cowboy hats right now, creating a new one here. Tell the whole story.
It says creator on it. It's so cool. What is the card in the? Let's get
the card says Wild Soul.
Ooh.
King of Hearts. I got a big old heart.
Oh, that's cute.
I act like a king sometimes, and I don't know. King from a perspective is I take responsibility for the kingdom.
For the kingdom. Wow. I really like the. That's awesome. I really like the feathers in it too.
Yeah. It's a vibe. And also it's two-sided. So this side is representing like the creator in me and my personal journey, starting in music saved my life, and then obviously being from Texas and wanted to represent that. But then the other side is this business side of me, and it's just really like straightforward,
just clean.
Just here to handle business, keep it real and on the upfront.
Love it.
And then it's like a super creative.
Super creative. Yeah. That's so cool.
I'm having fun with that.
I love that. Since we're on the topic of clothes, I'm wearing Flipstone Vintage today. I have this bag.
We like them.
Which
yes,
we went shopping this weekend and yesterday and got these things. And shout out to Dancing and her mama Sonia.
Hey, Dancing.
For being awesome wardrobe partners. Really appreciate them.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm glad to be in business with them too.
Okay. Barbara said she sees us. Let's see if I can let her in. Oh,
that's that.
Barbara said she sees us, but yeah.
No love on the Barbara end.
No.
I don't see her in this chat. No. Just me and you.
I see her watching, but yeah. So, while I'm trying to get Barbara in here, do you want to just go ahead and tell the audience some more? I kind of teed it up and told them about the creator curriculum, but tell us about where the evolution of Creators Capital is now, and then how that relates to Texas Tea.
Cool. Well, I'm Jaxon. I'm CEO of Creators Capital, and I train creators how to partner with cash flow and business owners to help their companies grow and mass attract the capital they need to be successful. And yeah, Texas Tea is one of our clients. They're perfectly prepared to have us lean in as creators.
You didn't get an email?
Help them tell stories and create their digital presence and do business development.
Right, so send it from a different.
Yeah, we are happy to have them on board. And we've got
Thank you. I know you.
one of our main
always
strategies
said
on growing the company is to create a
No,
line
nobody's
extension.
watching, so
our
no
first line
pressure.
extension is going to be Cowgirl Tea.
Like,
So that's what we're doing.
no. This is
Doing
a
that in
live, so
partnership
I'm
with my
not gonna
girl
be
Barbara
editing
Newman,
this.
the brand whisperer.
Like if there's like a weird gap or something, I can cut it out. But well, I know this is the only time that's. I probably should have waited to start it, but I just want to get going because sometimes people see it and they get on later. Once it's already going. So okay, there you go. There's the link again. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. I think Meg's on the phone with Barb, so I'll just keep on chatting. I don't even know who's here. How can I say who's here? Is anybody here? Hello out there. Anyway, Meg's great. She's evolving into exactly what I always knew she could be. She's got
This one should work.
enormous amounts of storytelling talent. She's got a big old brain that's super smart.
Are you talking about me?
Got the heart. No. What do you mean?
Okay.
What makes you think I'm talking about you?
I heard big old head or something.
And she's got like this toughness about her that's necessary to operate in this world these days, in my opinion. So glad to have her grit in the mix.
Hey,
what's
Barbara.
up? Cute outfit.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Great.
I'm doing good.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Really good to see you both. Wow.
The brand whisper. It's the brand whisper, guys. We got a new name.
He is the whisper.
Yes.
He's the whisper.
Where does that
Thank
come
you.
from?
Well, I mean, I had been called the brand whisperer, which is like a horse whisperer. But Jaxon this morning said, "Oh no, we're taking off the ER and calling you the brand whisper." So
it all works. It's all you.
I said yes.
That's amazing. Just keep saying yes. And I guess
that's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the history behind that is Barbara is a super branding expert who worked on campaigns and slogans for huge companies. Like, I'll just name some of them, Barbara, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Okay, cool. I know you don't like to do it yourself, so Jaxon and I can kind of ping pong. But so Barbara, thank you for joining us. Well, let's go back first, how Barbara relates to Creators Capital. So Creators Capital is made up of a really big network of mentors and creators that Jaxon brings into the fold. And so Barbara has been one of my amazing mentors in the branding space. And she and Jaxon are working on Cowgirl Tea, which is what this whole live stream is about. But before we get into
we're working on more than Cowgirl Tea. We're working on creators like Megan.
Thank you. And you guys have done, you guys have done a lot of work on me, seriously. Just to give you guys some context, we had a live last weekend that was called Dialogue Life Skills. It was like a workshop live, and that is something at the very beginning of the creator curriculum that Jaxon taught me and teaches everyone that we work with. And it's sort of like become our company culture. And some of you might know my story, but basically I have a whole mental health journey and been through many different forms of therapy or meditation, yoga, self-medication, we'll say, but landed on Dialogue Life Skills as being something that was very transformational to my relationships, which was the main kind of thing that I needed help with to have better mental health. And I didn't know that better relationships gave people better mental health, but once I started working on my relationships, it all kind of clicked in. So Jaxon taught me that. Barbara has been instrumental in that because she also has trained in dialogue at the very baseline, right, with Helen and Harville, or with their team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Long time.
Yeah.
therapy. Getting the Love You Want was the seminal book.
Yeah. And I have that in the link in the description, you guys, Getting the Love You Want. If you guys want to check that book out, it's in the link in my bio on YouTube. So I have a whole library of love on Amazon. You guys can check out books that were written by Doctors Helen Kelly Hunt and Harville Hendricks for better relationships and improved mental health. But that being said, so Barbara's been an amazing mentor, and she's worked on insane campaigns and slogans. For example, Milk, It Does a Body Good. It's Magic for Disney. Choosy Moms, Choose Jif. You guys know Jif peanut butter, I'm sure. And Canon, So Advanced It's Simple, which is a really cool one. And then even like Fruit of the Loom, which was We Fit America. And Barbara, you can sing that for us.
We fit America, we're Fruit of the Loom. Hey, that was a really fun jingle to write. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's
and
awesome.
I also really love the line for Slim Fast. It's your life, feed it right. So it really talks more about, how you nourish yourself, body, mind, and soul, not just losing weight. So trying to make that into a lifestyle brand that was, came along as a weight loss brand only. So that was a really big shift.
Yeah.
In how people see the brand. Yeah.
And you took them from 200 million to $1 billion lifestyle brand, right?
Yeah. And then they sold it. So to Unilever, and it was a private sale, and that was a huge business win for me and for the company that I worked for. I was with Grey Global at the time as a creative director, and so that's my job, is to take, what I loved about advertising so much is that it sits at the intersection of psychology, art, and commerce. So it's rare when you have all three of those things in one business, and it's really what you're doing, Jaxon, with creators. You're teaching that as well. Wow. So, yeah.
That's an interesting, insightful connection, Barb.
Yeah.
Art, psychology, and commerce.
I've always thought that the creators, it's everything kind of comes from the mind, right? When you think about the definition of creator,
right.
It's, I think it's one of the most interesting definitions I found in the book, in a dictionary. What does creator actually mean? It means creations of the mind, and then the second, kind of one of the shortest definitions in all the dictionary, or definition of a word, is just God. So
yeah,
like really interesting to think about. We all are creators, and there is a creator of all of us.
That's right.
And, yeah, so
it's really fun to explore. It is fun to explore, and just coming off of what you're saying about creator, a lot of how I've lived my life is through these little God winks, I call them.
Right? Yes, I love that. I've been using that a lot lately.
Yeah, and they just that's where, and you started saying, we say yes, God winks, and for me, they're all about, creativity, relationships,
connection to the source.
And exactly. Like what lights me up inside, what makes me bloom, right, so to speak. Yeah. It's that opening. So yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, Jaxon.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been using that. I've been using God winks when I see them. It's almost like I've always said to myself, if you want more of something, share it or acknowledge it, right? So I've always been trying to be really good at being like, oh, I recognize that that's, a gift to me right now. Kind of just acknowledge that and telling somebody that. But now you give me like a simple thing, like me and Swoop do it a lot. Another guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and Swoop are doing it a lot. Yeah, me and Swoop are doing it a whole lot. We're like, another guy win, bro. So,
that's great. Yeah. And it's confirmation.
It is.
And it
gets stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maggie.
So you guys, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to pull up a couple of photos. Jaxon suggested that I do this, and I thought it was a great idea. So I'm going to share, let me just share my entire screen. And I'm going to show you a photo, and then you're going to tell me why that photo is so important to you, and just tell us about the photo. Okay, let's do it. Now, can you see the photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one's for you, Barbara.
No, why isn't it for me? What do you mean?
Okay, so this is everything to me. This photo and this principle changed my life. And to me, it's that little girl looking at herself as she becomes a cowgirl. And what does cowgirl represent? You know, freedom and independence and perseverance and resilience. And here she is, a little girl, and she's that image of her looking at her future is everything I've always aspired to and everything I've always wanted for my daughter, my girlfriends, my mother, all the women, to really tap into their inner cowgirl, because she is an archetype of strength, courage, boldness, and all of it. So many years ago, I fell in love with cowgirl spirit. And since that time, it's been 2 decades almost, I have been living my life using the codes that they live by.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And for me, that but she sees herself in that image, and it reminds me of, you know, she was able to do that, keep that little girl with her, and then strive out into the world, and it really resonates with me. I mean, I didn't get the chance to be raised by my mom, but I did get a chance to have daughters, and I think about Hannah and Charlie and how they have an inner cowgirl, and I have a role model for them named Barbara Newman, and I get to tell them about her, and it's just really cool, and I'm really proud of Barbara.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. And I'm a city girl. You know, I didn't grow up on a ranch. I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up around New York City, and I needed that cowgirl spirit in the boardroom, you know, with my clients. And I mean, there's so many stories about how I needed to, you know, stand strong and use my voice and be bold and, you know, have the courage to say what I felt in front of many times a room full of men. So, yeah. Wonder Woman has a lasso, you know. There's a reason for it. It's the lasso of truth. So, yeah, thank you.
Barb, the new
I can't wait to meet your daughters. Jaxon.
Did you? I think you met Hannah once. Did you meet Hannah? Were you on that call?
Oh, you haven't. Okay. No.
Yeah, she's away shooting a movie right now, and she'll be back in August. And I'm definitely get you to link with her then. And then I've got Charlie is going to be back here over the weekend, some point next weekend, I think it is, from summer camp. So we'll get them on the line so you can say hi to them.
Thank you.
Charlie, Hannah came to one of our dialogue sessions with her boyfriend. That was cute.
Good.
Okay, so Barbara, it was really seeing that photo that inspired, like, made you want to be a cowgirl. Because since you grew up in the city, like, were there any other like influences?
The biggest influence was an interview that I heard on NPR. And I was on my way to New York. I was on my way to the office, and I think it was the head of the board of directors, Kit Moncrief, was in conversation with Terry Gross about the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame in Fort Worth. And I was blown away. I had no idea that there was a museum about cowgirls, and I'm an educated American woman. I know about American history, but I had no idea what these women have accomplished and what they've done that have impacted our culture today. Like from people like Sandra Day O'Connor to Temple Grandin, they were trailblazers. Nobody fenced them in. And then, of course, Jessie the Cowgirl and Barbie walked into the real world dressed as a cowgirl. There's a reason for that. And so when I heard this interview and there was a soundbite of a 101-year-old cowgirl, and she said, you know, you got to saddle your own horse, not really realizing that it was a metaphor for living life boldly. And I just, God wink, many, many, many God winks went right through me. And that's when I literally left my job 3 months later and moved to Montana to film my first cowgirl, Barbara Van Cleve. And it changed my life. You know, I traded high heels for cowboy boots and went out west, and I wanted to create a movement around cowgirl spirit for every woman and girl, and the men who love them.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So in my research, I came across that photo, and I said, "This says everything."
Nice.
Really, really says everything to me. This could be a poster to live by, and should be. And I have no idea who the photographer is. You know,
Oh, well, we'll have to find that.
Find
You can image search
I
it.
hope so. I mean, it's a very old photo, but I want to know who that person is. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Thank you.
It's interesting. Before we go to Jaxon, it's really interesting that so I've been looking through Instagram and all this, watching girls kind of ride horses, and how does that work? How does it look? You know, what is it like to break a horse? Or I don't know if they say break a horse anymore. Maybe they say
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard they say
Yeah.
something more politically correct, but I don't know. So
What's the word that you heard? What have you heard?
I forget. It was something else. It was like break is negative now because anyway. So, but same concept. And I was watching them. I was watching this one girl like break a horse for the first time, and I understood like what you mean by it gives women so much power, because you have to tame the horse. And I feel like in life, with I don't know, just like women in general, a lot of us are not put in authority, or we don't see ourselves as being powerful a lot of times because of whatever circumstances or nurturing or whatever. And so watching these girls break these horses, I was like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense that like the cowgirl spirit is runs so deep, because you have to train that horse. And like,
You have to train that 1,000-pound, 1,500-pound animal. And that's where actually the horse whisperer comes into play, because there are ways to do it beautifully and gently, and there are ways to break a horse. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but to have that, there's such a powerful relationship between humans and horses. And I think that to have the ability to know that you can be with this animal and really commune with this animal and communicate. I mean, they know they're mirrors to our souls, really. It is powerful.
yeah.
I mean, if you can do that, what can't you do? I mean, that's sort of, I mean, if you can be that, it's not even a negotiator, but that person who can read the animal and the animal reads you. It's like Jane Goodall with what she did, in Africa with the chimpanzees and beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all here on this planet together. And so that animal represents freedom and independence and strength and grace, and if you can do that, it gives women power. Just riding a horse makes you feel powerful. Stepping into a cowboy boot makes a woman feel powerful. I mean, the psychology behind it is incredible.
Facts. I mean, I'm in my boots right now. Again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Flipstone Vintage, for these awesome cowgirl boots. They're so cute. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. We've been exploring more of the cowgirl culture and getting some different perspectives on that. So it's been cool to like kind of immerse myself and come to know more what you know, right? So
what speaks to you the most when you're exploring this culture? What lights you up?
We met yesterday at Flipstone. One of the women who the woman who runs the business, it's her and her mom and kind of like her family, but her name is Dancing Heart. She's indigenous, and I think hearing her talk about, we showed her the Cowgirl label and she absolutely loved it. She said it was somewhere between grandma core and like farm core. What did she say, Jaxon? It was like somewhere in between, which is like
that. She just went there.
Yeah, like a series, like it was. She was comparing it to like these ceramic objects that she also had in her vintage shop that had this detailed flower paintings on them and like these beautiful like relics from the culture. And she was saying this really represents our culture, even from an indigenous perspective, because it's very different than the, modern day cowboy or the Western cowboy. It's very different, but she felt very represented by just looking at the label. And so,
so that makes me really happy because the culture has grown. It's not just one thing. It's not just the West, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just, it's indigenous, it's Mexican, like you pointed out, a wonderful person, the vaquero. I mean, it all came here from other places.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It all came here. History. So, that's wow. Yeah, so she's love that.
I'm excited to go to we still haven't been to the museum in Fort Worth. But I think learning more about the history of it and like how things came to be what they are now is going to be really interesting for me, because another thing that I found interesting was talking to Maren Scoggins, who's this up and coming influencer who's very into fashion. And she's like brand new to the country, not brand new. She's 2 years into the whole country scene. And
That's pretty brand new.
What'd you say?
That's pretty brand new.
Yeah, she's pretty new, but her whole group of friends, we all talked to them, and I thought it was interesting because her and her group of friends were very into like we want it to spread and be bigger, and we don't want to like gatekeep what this culture is, and we want people who aren't from the culture to be of the culture, to sort of like preserve the culture, honor its roots, but then take it beyond what it is. And it was interesting to hear that from some of her friends who were like authentic cowgirls, ranchers, and all of that. Mm-hmm. And so I think like seeing it like on both ends of the spectrum and really studying the history and then where it's at and where it's going is going to be really fun for me. That's what it is exciting to me right now. So talking to the people who are involved in different aspects of the culture, I think is the most fun part. So I hope also to continue like these lives with those women and kind of like each week build upon what we're building and discuss more in depth, like their perspectives on this too.
Right. It's really good. It's good that it has to grow.
Yeah.
And it's really women centered. I mean, that's like the core of the whole thing. It's female centered. and it is about standing in your strength and your power, however you want to express that. It all comes back to that for me. It's and everybody has different interpretations, and we are individuals. And if I want to be a cowgirl in New York City, I'm going to be a cowgirl in New York City, right? If you know, I've met with indigenous cowgirls, I've met with Mexican American cowgirls, I've met with women of the West who, you know, it's interesting because they're, you know, they have this whole culture fighting within themselves sometimes, right? The ranchers, some of the ranchers out west look at like the buckle bunnies, they call them, which would be the fashion person, and they, you know, they're like, oh, that's not a real cowgirl. Well, you know, who's to say what's real, what's not real? You know, it's also a feeling. It's a feeling that one has, and everyone has it. Every woman has an inner cowgirl, just like that little girl on the hobby horse.
Yeah.
Right. So there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. I'm excited about all of it. There are so many different ways to interpret.
I love it. Jaxon, what are you most excited about, or what has been speaking to you the most? Because you've been super deep into this as well.
Yeah, what's been exciting to me is, you know, it's always like, because I've been involved with cultural movements throughout my career, there's certain things that are, you know, I try to carry into, you know, different assignments or different opportunities and things like that. And this one kind of has the hallmarks of, you know, history, pride, and passion about that history that has lasted over, you know, hundreds of years. Principles and values that I believe are timeless, that, you know, are lived by and also promoted through action and behavior. And yeah, I find it to be, you know, me being, you know, Texas being home for me and kind of where I established my roots after, you know, you know, I would say finding my way to what my future might be. I've noticed I've carried a lot of those kind of principles outside of Texas and into different environments, and I never had a word or name for it. I just recognized that something made me different in Hollywood. Something made me different on tour. Something made me different in boardrooms at venture capital firms. You know, I've always known that there's something about where I was from that made me different, no matter where I was at. And now I understand it better. I'm starting to understand that I carry, you know, certain things from Texas in my soul and in my spirit and my way I think. I have this wonderful mentor named Jerry Hicks, and he's just a country boy from Georgia. That's what he calls himself. Um, but I know he's one of the greatest legal minds and litigators and negotiators for talent ever, doing hundreds of millions of dollar contracts for athletes who are young and getting those athletes to, you know, retire and still have some of their wealth and persevere. That he just did a contract for a 29-year-old athlete in the NBA, and the other day he calls me and says, "Oh, I can't make the meeting for the dinner, the celebration dinner, because, you know, me and Miles are going over his 50-year plan."
Oh.
And I said, "What, Jerry?" He said, "Oh yeah," and he just said it so casually. I'm complete with his 50-year plan. I need to present it to him. I've got his finance person.
We got
And
to scratch that. He said he did not want that to be public.
No, it's fine. I already talked to him about that. And they always say that to me. So what Megan is talking about is mentors sometimes are very private with their mentorship. So sometimes when I first ask them to do something like screw the top of your head off and pour into other people, their gut reaction is, "Oh, I'd never want to do that." And then my job is to help them understand that how important it is to tell their story. So what Jerry did tell me is that he's willing to um, lean in
Okay.
with certain aspects of what he's doing to be confidential.
Okay.
We can tell his story, but until he's really comfortable, he doesn't want his full name out there, and there's just all kinds of things like that.
Gotcha. Just wanted to
As
be sure. Okay.
but Barb's, yeah, I'm always on top of that. But Barbara's has encouraged me to start writing my book, and certain mentors, certain people, high profile people who do things behind the scenes are more comfortable with me telling our stories and our things that we're doing. And that's kind of a role I have to play because, you know, they've never done that before. They're not from this always on social media camera generation, so, but at the same time, there's this beautiful opportunity for them to be like a part of the narrative. Right now, everybody just knows, like I told Jerry, everybody just knows all athletes are, you know, they retire 5 years from retirement, they're broke. And nobody's ever told a story about the athlete that's not that way. And so that's my position with Jerry. But anyway, so he's very Texan. He drives a truck. He simple as it gets when it comes to like material things. He's much more about pouring into the next generation and doing what you say you are and having integrity. And I just find that the culture is soaked in all those kinds of values, and in our world needs more of that right now. So that's why I'm really glad that the music is taking country music is taking a front seat. That the the values and stories and characters are being turned into movies, and there's stores popping up all over the place, that there's brands that are leaning in online this way. So it just seems like a very good time to be, who I really am and who I've been, and learning more about it through our work on Cowgirl Tea and our work on with Texas Tea. Went to the Texas Restaurant Association show, and that was just totally fascinating, being in a whole conference hall full of Texas entrepreneurs doing all kinds of things, um, to support their customers and to support each other and to support their communities, and we can play a role in all that. So I'm excited about that. We have a seat at the table to understand and respect and honor the heritage and where things came from and where things are at, and we're being asked to step in on where things may be going. So we're creators partnering with owners to grow companies investors want to fund and support. So we have to have creativity, and Cowgirl Tea is something that we created. So it's going to be it's going to contribute. Yesterday was beautiful. Meg is right, Barb. She's going to show up next Friday, Dancing Heart, and she's an educator, teacher's mind. She loves to teach. She's a historian, and she grabbed what we gave her and just started to put the label next to things in her store. See how it fits with this sweater. See how it fits with this vase. See how it fits with this over here. She just started like putting it. Look at it next to these shoes, Jaxon. You see how it's working? She was like, I can help you guys style things or help with the series or be your wardrobe consultant, or I'm going to create content for you guys. You send me my affiliate link and I got a vision for you. She told us about this little commercial she's going to create back at her family ranch, and how she's going to take the bottle and turn it into a vase after she gets done drinking it, and put flowers in it and put it in the thing because it's she called it sustainable because it's sustainable. Her and her family would really appreciate that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was really thinking about all the work we've done, and I got to watch this super authentic, like Native American leader she must be in her 30s and just totally dialed in with what we created. So it's really cool.
That's great. I'd love to meet her.
Yeah.
Dream dancer?
Dancing
What's her
Heart.
name?
Dancing Heart.
Dancing Heart. Dancing Heart.
Dancing Heart. Yeah.
So,
and she's in Dallas, or Austin,
Fort Worth. So
Fort Worth?
Yeah, Fort Worth.
Great.
So Jaxon, you're really excited about getting more in touch with your roots, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, it's always been there. I think I just didn't know what it was, where it was coming from.
Can you
try to be a man that does what he says he's going to do? Yeah.
Can you tell us about this image? Wait, do you see this image?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I sent that to you guys because it was sent to me. I've been around my grandmother a lot lately. She's 90. And not shortly after that little boy was in the system. So there aren't many pictures after that. But that photo right there, I was super happy. I was being trained by my uncles and my grandfather, who were cowboys, black cowboys, and who had, our family fled the South to the North in their days, but they still kept the cowboy spirit with them. And when I was born, they strapped me up, threw hats on me and threw bandanas on me, and I'd be running around, as a little cowboy. And yeah, that image definitely it warms my heart because I get to see how happy I was. That's who I worked really hard to become after lots of things in the middle of life. But yeah, to keep the spirit of that little guy in the mix as I move through, helping creators live up to their potential and be all they can be, and helping owners grow, and helping investors partner up with us. It still always goes back to there's a little cowboy inside of me, and he's filled with the good stuff.
It's interesting. Both of the photos that we feel so much heart for are children.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But I think you and I both have kept that spirit, right? Like we both bring that this is who we really are, and this is what makes us who we are kind of energy to the table. We're very serious. We're on it. But at the end of the day, we're also not taking ourselves too serious.
And and the curiosity.
Yeah, and the curiosity. Yeah. The curiousness of a child, the explosiveness of happiness, and joy, ready to connect and have some fun and do our thing.
Love that. Well, speaking of origin stories, I'm going to let our friend Monty Van Brunt into the room. Hey, Monty.
Monty.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hi there, Monty.
Monty is a big bundle of fun, and he is the broker behind many brands, but one of them is Texas Tea. And I have this Texas Tea Slim here today that we actually picked up at HEB yesterday, Monty and I. It was my first time at HEB, so we had to do a whole live tour. But Monty, can you kind of tell us about Texas Tea and about how we are creating a line extension and what your part in that is? And then we're finally going to share the labels with you guys so you guys can see what we've been talking about this whole time.
Whoa. All right. Can I do that? No. Texas Tea has just been a great, slow growing brand for, over a decade now. Texas Tea is a unique bottled tea because, the use of, real honey and real fruit, and it being organic tea and non-GMO. And there's been a lot of mouse traps in the beverage game and the tea game through my life with buzzwords around it. But then, they've acquired a bunch of capital, raised capital, grown the brand, got distribution, and the brands fall flat on their face. Or if they either go up really high and then drop really quickly, or it's a slow, gradual, decline until the brand dies. Sweet leaf tea is the prime example, right? And that's, Texas Tea was created, after sweet leaf, and sweet leaf was the curve, like grading on the curve. And sweet leaf is dead today because the brand was acquired 3 times, and each acquisition, the brand got weaker and weaker. Texas Tea has withstood challenges in Texas and surrounding states for many years now, because of the quality product it is and the loyal cult-like following that it has, because consumers cannot find another tea that stacks up to it. So that's I guess a good brief background and part of the tea category.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of beverage brands get built, and there's buzz, and then they die off. So
Texas Tea is different because it has that foundation already built, and then Texas Tea is brought in Jaxon and Creators Capital to kind of help with that. You have something you read us yesterday that really brought that
and it talks about like the beverage prime that 2 sort of high level influencers or celebrities created, and it grew at a fast rate and got distribution. So they start with hydration, isotonic hydration, for athletes, right? So they built a buzz on social media, and that's what allowed them to get distribution, because like they went to category managers and buyers at retailers, says, man, this is Logan Paul, like he's got 10 million followers, it's going to boom, there's going to be high demand for the product. And distribution widened really fast. And it became a price point game because everybody wanted a cheaper price than the other guy, right? So if you look at Albertsons companies and the Kroger chain and Walmart, everyone's got it. Everyone wants to be the lower price. A lot of money was spent in promotions to promote the brand. And yeah, it scaled really fast. And they were selling, but people, once they tried it, they didn't like it. Maybe they didn't find a flavor they liked. Consumers will tell you what they like and what they don't like over a period of time. Doesn't matter what marketing mousetrap you have or how much money you spend. Eventually, retailers will pull the product off the shelf if it doesn't sell at regular retail at full price, because that's where they make their margin. If you sell a $2 item, they make, we'll call it 50% profit for easy math, and then you put it on promotion for $1, well, their margin gets cut in half, and they can't keep their doors open. They're not putting profit in the bank. So once prime distribution happened, they didn't have anything special to stand on. Meanwhile, the players in that category are entrenched as, iconic brands, Gatorade, Powerade, right? The power of Pepsi and Coke, right? Coke also owning Body Armor, right? Red Bull, Celsius, Bang, Liquid IV, those are things that we're not going to get dethroned. So with that said, like, just because you have reach, that doesn't mean you have a brand, right? Because, Logan Paul and KSI, they command tens of millions of followers and an audience. But that could not sustain, what Gatorade spent 60 years building in with, and then the acquisition by Pepsi. They just have the power, right? And, Pepsi acquiring Alani, and then the Ghost Energy, which Dr. Pepper controls, Electrolit, which Budweiser controls, right? You cannot beat those legacy companies. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
So your goal is to build your brand and get acquired by, or one of the big four, by a controlling stake in your business. And so, really the take is, hype gets you trial for sure, right? Creators, celebrities, whatever it is, promotion, marketing, drives trial, right? But your fundamentals is what gets you a franchise, right? Distribution, the taste, the repeat taste, and a reason, and it gives you your brand a reason to exist beyond a famous face, right? We all know Megan's famous face, is going to get people there, but we can't rely on Megan's famous face forever.
The cool Monty and Jaxon Love in Action. I saw you guys just change your names. That's hilarious. I'm the only one without a cool name now. Okay, so Texas Tea is a vertically integrated company, meaning they formulate, bottle, and distribute, which is why they have such a great foundation. But their biggest problem was expanding beyond Texas because it's called Texas Tea.
Correct.
So that's kind of why Texas Tea brought in Jaxon Love in Action to make it happen. You know what I mean? So Jaxon, can you give us more about how you've been doing that, and then tie that back into Cowgirl Tea, and then we'll show these labels. And again, guys, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we can ask these guys anything you want. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I like to say no two brand assignments are the same. And what I like to do is really focus on the people behind the product, service, company, Monty being one of them, Brad Miller and Laura Bijah and Deepak Bijah being the founders and operators of the business. And what is our specific assignment? And the assignment typically, emanates from a challenge. And the challenge in this case was, an established brand in a region with a proven product, with packaging that people recognize, with a price point that people really like, because it's a premium tea in a glass bottle, but it's not priced, outside of the regular grocery store shoppers price point. So that's really helpful that the price is low enough and accessible to most customers. But it's ultimately, how are they going to expand outside of Texas? And that was the assignment we were given. I've been given those kind of assignments before, with Helen Harville and Dialogue. It was, how do I get their work out of the clinic and into the real world? Okay, we're going to create dialogue life skills and teach creators how to dialogue, to have better relationships, improve mental health, more career success, and joy in life. Okay, let's go with that campaign. So this one was reminded me of that assignment. Just like Helen and Harville were proven with imago therapy, and it needed a future-proof strategy. This one needs the same thing. So in the early days, we in our contract, we were given as creators the ability to create things, learn business, focus on developing a plan, building a team, but create things that are going to help the company grow. And so I'm really proud that me and Deepak had were aligned on that vision, because you never know what we're going to create. But immediately, once the contract was done, and I knew I was going to go back to Barb, who I knew had been, documenting, writing books and making documentaries, and she was a brand expert that could really help us, with her decades of wisdom and experience. And it was a short phone call with Barb that led to her saying, hey, you know, cowboys have cowboy coffee, cowgirls need Cowgirl Tea. And if you've negotiated the ability for us to create, you know, things inside of this cash flowing business that's been around for 25 years, let's create Cowgirl Tea. So that's how that came about. And I'm really super just proud of us, because no one really sees all the steps that lead up to something coming to life. And that's okay. But it's, you know, when you're a part of doing that, for me, I've been a part of doing that from idea to something that takes over the world my whole career. It's like I'm constantly being a team member or leader involved in those kind of movements that are created. You know, it just doesn't get old when it happens again, and it feels like it's happening again with this particular brand.
Oh.
And I hope it helps Texas Tea, and our goal is to help Texas Tea, you know, double its, you know, increase its distribution network. Cowgirl Tea can do that. Cowgirl Tea can increase its customer base around the country and then around the world. And, you know, Monty deserves, he's been the backbone of this business for 15 years or something like that. And, you know, without having any marketing support, now he has, you know, my job has been to bring on an army of leaders and creators and, you know, storytellers and business developers and digital marketers and website builders. I mean, I just look at all the stuff that we pulled together. I was going to actually share with you guys what we've done. I have one image to share on this point. I can turn it over to you.
Jaxon, you're kind of breaking up. Can you guys hear him?
I could hear him until just that end.
Okay. I think you said you're going to share something. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a question
I am. Yep.
for Monty on how Cowgirl Tea is going to help solve his problem. But yeah, go ahead and share your screen.
I'd love to hear that too, Monty.
Right now? I'm up?
Hold on.
Or Jaxon sharing?
Jackson's going to share his screen, he said.
Okay.
I think he froze.
He's like frozen.
So we'll wait just a second to see if he'll catch up. But you guys, for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, I just put TexasTea.com in the chat and Amazon.com in the chat where you can buy Texas Tea. And I put a 10% off code. I know that's like, it's something, you know what I mean? It's something. So it's like so good though. Seriously, this blueberry slim, it's my favorite slim. It has 0 sugar and 5 calories. But the other teas have all they have cane sugar, they have natural ingredients, they have all real fruit from Texas farms, and they're actually named after each farm in Texas. So this one's Brownsboro Blueberry, and because Brownsboro is a farm in Texas. And then there's like Fredericksburg Peach, because Fredericksburg is a farm in Texas. So it's a really cool local brand that supports Texas. And yeah, they've been around for 15 years as Texas Tea. But again, their distributor has been around for 25 years, and their bottler has been around for 6 years, and now their marketer is just this year, and that's Jaxon Love in Action. Okay, back to you, Jaxon. Did you get your internet working again?
Yeah, I think I don't know. It just crashed the app for some reason, but here I am.
Okay, well, go ahead and share your screen if you can.
So this is our little process. A year ago, we started this assignment with Texas Tea, and we use a process that we created called Journey, and it's our proprietary process on how we bring companies into our world and serve them. But something's weird's happening. What's going on here? Loading.
Oh yeah, it's a black.
Is it loading for you guys too?
It was up for a minute.
Oh,
yeah.
there it goes.
There it is.
It's because there's so much on it, probably.
Okay.
There's so much work that's been done. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Just give it a second.
Well, this is what, here it is. Here we go. Here's what Journey looks like. So it's like our consulting group steps in, and we focus on how to grow the company with the exit in mind. Our venture group focuses on what we can innovate with the exit in mind, and our investment group focuses on how we bring on investors with the exit in mind. And our onboarding process, brand storytelling, creator-led marketing, business development, new product and services, develop and execute campaigns, set up special purpose entities, package to business, growth consulting. Texas Tea is here, blind auction, secure more capital so we can all grow even more. And when I think about this, I go, okay, what does a year look like of creators being partnered with a cash flowing business owner to grow it and secure more funding? And this is what we've accomplished on one slide. And it's just amazing to look back at it all, whether it's the founder stories or the social media presence that we created and manage, the companies, the big companies that are engaged with us to help the company grow, and the innovation that we brought to the table with Cowgirl Tea and Effective Monty's got us an opportunity already with Kroger, the series, the Cowgirl, the podcast, What's the Texas Tea, the creator-powered growth engine led by Megan, and what you're doing with the network of creators and the events. Future Thirst, which is a special purpose entity, and our M&A firm packaging the business for growth capital. And yeah, so this is what it looks like from the mind of a madman.
From your mind
That was a good show. That was a good series, by the way. If you haven't watched it.
No, it's been so great working on that stuff. And I think like going back to the very beginning when we were talking about dialogue, it's been so cool to be trained by you, Jaxon, and to be part of the work that you're doing with cash flowing companies, because you always talk about like building tracks in your brain. And I don't know where you got that from. I don't remember actually. But you have this thing where you say you need to build positive tracks in your brain, or else you just learn how to fail when you're young. And I feel like many people go through that, especially creative people, because there's a lot of room to fail, as a creative person. And that's part of the process. But it is really cool to have your network and the way that you guide creators to be successful within things that are already successful, like Texas Tea. I think it's been really beneficial for me, both personally and professionally, to have an opportunity to work on that's like going big places, for lack of a better way to say it.
Megan, it's a huge opportunity, Megan. Really is a huge opportunity. When I was in the brand space years ago, you worked for an agency, which worked for a company, and the lanes were really, defined. And you can be a part of all of it in so many ways: the creativity, the business side, working with Monty. That's rare when someone gets to have all of the people involved in a business. So it's fantastic for you.
Yeah, and I tell you, both of you have touched on something, and I should probably share this, because the history of employment and creativity, I found a study that was done, and the whole idea, the point of view is, if you want to create wealth and jobs in the agrarian age, you were a farmer, right? Those were the people who created the most wealth during the
you said you're a farmer, right?
Age.
Farmer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it kind of broke up.
So
sure.
those were the people who created the most wealth and jobs. But creators were there. We were a small percentage of the population. We were creators. And then as it moved forward in the industrial age, if you wanted to create wealth, you were in manufacturing. You created the most jobs. And you were the entrepreneur that created the most wealth, but created a little bit more percentage of the population was creators. Not much, but more. And we were there too. And then in the information age, when technology swept over the earth and the internet swept over the earth, and now it's like, okay, we're now leaning into you were a tech entrepreneur, and you're building the highways for information to travel like never before. And but this time creators were being asked to be there, but even more. So more creators were there. And now we're in the social media age where now if you're looking to create wealth and jobs and things like that, this entrepreneurial spirit of the individual in a bedroom as a teenager can turn on a computer and create a social media presence, and it can become something worth $1 billion. And they're talking about in the AI age, just we're entering in, how there's this talk of one person $1 billion companies, and so you're the creativity being a part of creating jobs and wealth. It's way above 50% of the population now needs to be more creative, and that's going to exponentially increase. So what you're referencing, Megan, is that the history of me understanding where we've been as creators, where we're at, and where we have the opportunity to go. And now how every person on the planet can now say, you don't have to be right and left brain anymore. You have a brain. You can use your creativity, and you can establish your presence on social media, and you can, that's now a part of every person can have their own creative spin on life and business and expertise and that kind of thing. And I'm just cautioning everyone, because the entrepreneurial spirit is very different than the way the world was built. Yes, the entrepreneurial spirit was there, but the entrepreneurial spirit relied on other people not being entrepreneurial. Come go to work for me. I do the entrepreneur thing. You do the job thing. And an entire generation is leaning into being entrepreneurial now. And that's where this whole idea, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, the best place to do that is within a cash flowing business, not a startup, not just a startup. I'm not saying don't do startups. I'm not saying don't be innovative. I'm just saying the faster you can be around operators and brokers like Monty and people who have a business that's generating income, and you can see the employees and you can see the equipment and you can start to understand that, oh, it really takes a lot to do this, than just, I'm going to straight a beverage brand. We had a creator that joined us, Jonathan Peters, got 30 million followers. He's one of the creators on the Texas Tea deal. And when I first met him, he was thinking about creating his own beverage. And I had to have this conversation with him. Jonathan,
Don't do it.
this is what you need to do. You want to be in the beverage industry, my man? Just be a creator. And I'm gonna give you every opportunity to learn the business from these operators and from brokers and from the this and that. And they need you to take this company from a regional player to a global player. Play a role there. And those are the tracks. Now he's going to start getting tracks in his brain of success. Kroger came on. Monty called us from Kroger. What? Do you think that your little freaking brand that you were doing outside of a cash flowing beverage company would have ever got Monty to call and say, hey, you guys got Kroger? What, before you even finished the label? Like, you got an opportunity with Kroger? No. So that's very important that people recognize our model is about creators partnering with operators, cash flowing business owners to grow companies that investors want to support. And doing that, young Megan, doing that, have an opportunity for you to see how that works, and for you to be in position to learn from that point of view and experience all these little wins along the way. Yes, a bunch of challenges. Yes, a bunch of things that don't work, but there's evenly balanced and exciting things going on all the time that make it all worth going this route, as opposed to just taking on a bunch of risk and unnecessary failure at a young age, getting disgruntled and not feeling like you are
creating mental health issues for people.
Exactly. Yeah. I've worked on 3 startup brands with, great decks and great, formulators and great ideas in the skincare and all kinds of things, and put 2 years, into each one. And you think you're right on the edge and nothing happens. you can't raise the money, or you can't. So this opportunity for me, I mean, which Jaxon, you brought to me, and we are creating together. And Monty, you've been extraordinary along the way and saying, this is what you really need to do. And I'm like, oh, but maybe I want it this way. Like, no, this is what you need to do. I'm like, oh, but, and at the end of the day, the village came together, right? And we have, an extraordinary label that is going, this brand, I believe I feel it, is going to build a movement. And that's what makes it so exciting for me and so authentic, is because it's also, it's a fantastic drink, but it's going to do good in the world. It's going to do good. So we can all wake up every day and say, look at what we all created together. I mean, I think that's pretty cool, Monty. The cool Monty.
Yeah, as I had a few powwows with Jaxon, I'm like, I'm not gonna say read him the riot act. I'm like, Jaxon, this is what we gotta have, right? I've seen it, right? I've watched categories within the grocery store my entire life, right? You have seconds for consumers to identify with a product for them to grab, right? You don't have 5 minutes, you don't have a minute, you have 3 seconds. I mean, eyeballs, brain process, decision made, right? People need to connect with a product, right? There has to be a connection, right? To get the long-standing thing, right? Whether it's the brand, they love the brand, they love what it stands for, or they just, there's no product in a package better than it, right? It's creating the cult. Texas tea has a cult-like following. People who drink Texas tea drink it, and they drink it, a lot of it, right? They're not drinking 1 bottle a week. They're drinking 6-10 bottles a week, because they're connected with the fluid.
Connected with
it's all emotional connection. I mean, 95% of every purchase decision is through emotional connection. It's visceral,
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's proven. Whether it's a car, or whether it's, whatever it is, a car or a, tea.
Well,
yeah, and
I can definitely trust you on that, Barbara.
Thank you.
just to speak on, people, I mean, entrepreneurs are great. Our country, the world gets built on entrepreneurs, right? There was a ton of, in the 1900s, there was creators, right? I mean, they were creating business, right? Entrepreneurs, it was the bartering, and we're back to bartering, right? It's coming full circle, right? What we do on a daily basis, us, right? Creators Capital. I mean, we're simply, in a sense, building relationships, bartering with people, finding commonalities, finding fits, and building business together. And so, I mean, the hundreds of the billions of dollars, billions that are getting wasted by people who want to live an entrepreneurial dream. I'm happy for them, but they don't know. It's like what you alluded to a minute ago, Barbara. Like, you're so close, you start selling, you become, you get to revenue, and it takes more capital, and you can't get more capital because you already had, you've tapped out all of the resources in your network, and it's crazy, and DB Miller, as Jaxon says, is cash flowing, right? I mean, it's a profitable business, has been for years. People are like, when are you guys going to get in money and then just make it blow up? I'm like, that's not how you do it. Like, you build a solid foundation, right? And you gain cash flow. You gain positive cash flow by building a strong, sustainable business.
Yeah.
So do you want me to talk about line extension?
Yeah. So Jaxon, can you?
Yeah. So for years, right? I mean, I've been
talking, but we.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Jaxon, while he's doing that, can you actually pull up the labels? Because every time I share them on Google Drive, something weird happens. And you probably have the latest versions, which we could go through the history of the labels. How many labels do you think we actually have been through at this point?
Oh my gosh.
10? We've
done rounds, 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
10 rounds. But it's really interesting because I don't know, like, I always had in my mind some kind of retro-y, vintage rodeo kind of idea, right? Of this cowgirl, some kind of circle. Remember, like this,
Yeah.
I looked at old posters for inspiration, and that was that. And actually, the font that we're using goes way back to the beginning, and we walked away from it, and now we've come full circle. So I don't know. I'm just so happy where we netted out. You've no idea. I'm so happy about it. And
I'm so glad that you're happy.
I'm so happy about it. It was a lot of work, and it was a process, and lots of opinions, and it was hard at times. I mean, it was hard. It was really hard, and it's not like we had the resources, to like go and get like Landor, who does this for, or one of those brand companies. We were, it was scrappy.
Yeah.
We
are a resourceful bunch for sure.
Cowgirls are scrappy, I mean,
it's different.
Yeah, we couldn't call it the Richards Group in Dallas that does Chick-fil-A, right? I mean, it's
we couldn't call Gray, but
I could have called him. Stan and I have the same mentor.
No.
Jackson. Yes, we could have.
We also learned so much.
Oh no, we needed to do it our way for sure. We learned
so much. We learned what people thought. We learned, Monty, your input was like, golden, and everybody's input, and I had to like step aside a little bit and say, okay, all right, go, and step. That was hard for me.
Yeah,
that was hard for me to do. That was hard for me to do. You have something in your head, so anyway, it was great.
I waited by my phone every day, waiting for Barbara to call me up. What do you mean you
do that to you? But we
found something that everybody likes, right? And that's the key, right?
Everybody loves it.
You're the marketing person. I'm the salesperson, right? And marketing always thinks their idea is the best and will sell. It's historic. I mean, every company, right? But we got to find what everyone thinks will sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Is she wearing chaps?
No,
on this one?
Not yet.
No.
I don't think we have the finals yet, but I can show you what we have. Jackson, is that correct? We don't have the chaps ones yet?
I have.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay, then let me take this off. Hi, Mom. Just wanted to say hi. You just texted me. Hi. She's so sweet. She's my biggest fan. Love you, Mama.
We love you.
Okay, let's see the labels.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there they are. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. Finally gonna get to see what we're talking about. So Cowgirl Tea.
Wildly good Cowgirl Tea.
Wildly good.
Own the spirit,
Born to be bold.
That is
so just reads front of the label. It's Wildly Good Cowgirl Tea. It's so interesting. I think about like Barb, you and I can see everybody who's touched this, obviously, but big shout out to Chuck for helping us with Wildly Good. Monty driving, figure out how to make the fruit big. Brad being like, man, go with an icon. Give me an icon, man. I need an icon. Got the girl on a horse. Yeah. And then Barb, your leadership and your ability to kind of like stay on top of it for months, and just patiently going from one designer to another, back to someone else, back to this, back to that, just try this, all that.
Color's wrong. You gotta saturate it more. Or
whatever. Just all the things come into play.
Too tight.
I sent out, the sweet tea label to some strong women in our industry who are in sales leadership roles with a major distributor. That call on some big key accounts, right, that I have relationships with and I trust. And so one of them said, I think it's great! ! Love the style of it.
Great.
And
then so one said, another one said something like, Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Looks great, and the reins are loose, so it's realistic. When is this going to be ready for market? Right.
Well,
So this woman's a director of sales over multiple chains for a distribution partner I work with.
oh, that's fantastic.
Nailed
That's
it.
great. Nailed it. And also,
Blueberry.
like, the idea of blueberry, that one.
This label's the best one.
This is my favorite.
I love that.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves this label. It's so
We
funny.
love this label too. We
Nope.
just love it.
Yeah.
Unsweet tea might become a huge selling tea.
What's that?
Unsweet.
It's so sexy. I
Unsweet.
love how it's just dark. And I love the sweet one too. And I love the sweet and unsweet together. I'm excited for the creators to do day to night transitions. So yeah, if there's creators watching, please drop your handles in the chat and I will be hitting you up from Texas Tea's Instagram. Here's the
So I guess, yeah.
What?
No, I'm just, you
don't like the blueberry, right?
like the sweet and the peach are the color of the label so close, but I guess it's obvious what is peach tea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And peach tea is so prominent.
Yeah.
And the peach is so prominent.
That's what I just, every time I talk to Jaxon, we looked at labels. I'm like, they've got to be separated, right? And so just so people can tell what's what.
Well, I think it also helps that, these the flavors are, white, like a peachy white cowgirl, and the sweet tea is brown and real, and it's more realistic. So I think it'll pop. I mean, I do. I think side by side. I have a question, Monty. Like, how many SKUs do you think a store is going to carry? Like, what's the usual? And what do you think is going to be best for Cowgirl Tea?
I mean, we're looking, 3 to 4, I think 4 might be it. 5 could be a stretch, it depends on how much they believe in the brand, right? And with like unsweet, right? We had to make the unsweet because you have to have it, and there's retailers that don't carry it. Retailers like, no, I gotta have unsweet, but since these are, we're gonna have lower calorie, product, and it could be all right. So we will see. Some retailers, even though unsweet is a slow seller, they keep it on their shelves or in their doors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we visited a restaurant yesterday in Fort Worth, a Mexican restaurant. They're selling unsweet, and how much of it do they sell? I don't know, but the chef loves it because it's got the peppermint, and so he's like, no, it tastes fantastic. So
yeah, he did love it.
Yep. Jaxon, where are we going to take off the real pure cane sugar? Because we know pure cane sugar is real already.
It's off right.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, made with pure cane sugar. Good. Awesome. That was in my head.
Can you zoom in on the story really quick so we can read that? Okay.
In the middle of an amazing career in New York advertising, I heard an interview about the American cowgirl. It changed everything. I fell in love with her bold, independent, and unapologetic spirit. Traded my high heels for cowgirl boots and headed west.
Did you find it?
Huh? That's me. It's me. I came to Texas.
I don't think you did that right.
What I discovered. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's just cool.
What I discovered surprised me. The cowgirl isn't defined by where she lives, what she wears, or whether she rides a horse. There's an inner cowgirl in all of us. Cowgirl Tea was born to celebrate that spirit. Every wildly good sip is steeped in courage, a reminder to rein in your fears, dream big, and live joyfully alive. It's what I want for my daughter and what I want for you. Love and kisses, Barbara Coco B. Newman.
OMG.
Oh,
I almost cried.
And
I did.
and here's and this is real storytelling. I mean, this is authentic, and I think it's going to really speak to the people. They're going to read this and go, oh wow, like I can be a cowgirl. Like I can feel that spirit. This woman wants it. This company wants this for me too, and wants it for my daughter. And so I think it also spreads. This is for mothers. It's for daughters. It's intergenerational. And I also love the codes of the cowgirl.
Yeah.
Which I might just leave codes of the cowgirl as codes of the cowgirl, but Jaxon thought, let's say own the spirit. Because you're going to go into a whole world. And I'm working on a little guidebook. And I'm working on what those codes are and what does it mean? Don't, rein in your fears. Don't fence me in. Be a trailblazer. All the things that women and girls really need to hear so that they can live more joyfully alive. Right? They can live more joyfully alive. So I'm super excited about that part too, and it's very real.
We are a conscious capitalist group of entrepreneurs. So conscious capital is a new movement where entrepreneurs are thinking about not only profit, but they're thinking about people, the planet, purpose. And down there at the bottom left is Cowgirl Tea gives back to youth mental health and creator education programs. And this makes us super regenerative and empowering of others in our communities. And we have the programming for all of this stuff. Our creator curriculum is a part of that programming. We also partner with companies like Creator Camp, where we're, all summer long. This summer, we're, Texas Tea is sponsoring creator camps, and we'll be doing Cowgirl Tea campaigns with 5 to 13-year-olds and teaching them about the business, the codes of the cowgirl, and all that kind of stuff next year. And it just really feels good to have created something that has great story, has great leadership, has great operators, and everybody's aligned around growth. So I'm excited about that side of the label. And on this side of the label, we have a bunch of things that are just necessary. Obviously, nutritional facts, and we get to work with the formulator for Texas Tea on this particular formula. So we're excited about putting our own spin on what's already been working with that formulator. We've got Go Texan, which is this super cool organization that Monty made me aware of. And I was just looking at the lady's card here, Monty. Her name is Kristen Perez. Yeah, so she's a digital and social media marketing specialist. So she wants to hear from you and Barb, Meg, about Cowgirl Tea and how they can support our launch. Ingredients are healthier. It's brewed with organic white tea, pure cane sugar, real poteet Texas strawberries. They're in the mix, and that farm out there, we're going to be able to visit that farm and tell their story. Created by Future Thirst, formulated by Texas Tea, distributed by DP Miller. That's how we're going out the door. Brokered by Monty, and we've got our new address there, Lookout Drive. You can send us, fan letters over there on West Lookout Drive, and we're creating a series called The Cowgirl, which we're really excited about, a web series.
Just a question on this label here on the ingredients. The only word that's not capitalized is tea. Is there a reason for that?
Where is that? Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I see that too. I see that. Yeah.
Every word's capitalized but tea in the ingredients. Jack, scroll over.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
no,
the tea should be. Yeah. And then we just need to verify this nutrition fact panel. There is a federal mandate on font and size. So we just need to verify that falls in line.
Wow.
Okay.
It's good to know.
That is really good to know. And these are not all the ingredients, obviously, because we're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Just want to make those notes, just make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the UPC, I think we'll need to make that. Now that I look at it, I've looked at it for minutes here. I think that UPC barcode will need to be taller, match it the same size as the box on the left, right? Just for scanning purposes, just so it's a little larger, we just need to look at it and maybe move that QR code up into Barbara's story, so it's all together.
Mm-hmm.
So Barbara's whole story, Cowgirls in one box. We don't have to make a line, but just to gain some room there, design room. So.
And when you say taller, that thing can actually stretch taller, you mean?
Yes. So it should. I don't know if we just need to double check if there's a regulation of the size it needs to be. But so Aldi, the grocery chain Aldi, they do fast checkout. They have barcodes that are like huge. So it's easy for scanning.
Yeah.
This one does seem a little taller on this model. But before we move on from the label, and you can take that off the screen, but there's something that it says on the story that I wanted to ask you about, Barbara. So you're now saying your name is Barbara Coco B Newman. Where did the Coco B come from?
A lot of people call me Coco, and it's a crazy story. I usually sign off my emails and my letters and everything with an XOXO. And it kept auto-correcting to Coco. And so I said, "Oh, Coco, that's really interesting." And then I was at the time I was working with Miss Hall's school for girls. It's a high school in Massachusetts, and I was sitting at their board of visitors meetings, which brought in women from all over the country. And the conversation was about identity. Mm-hmm. And everybody was going around the table and they were talking about what their names meant to them. And I said, "My name is Barbara, but people call me Coco." And they're like, "Oh, Coco, why did you choose that?" I said, "I like Coco because it's more sparkly and it just feels more like me. So that's why it's there. In case anybody asks."
And
it fits a cowgirl name. I mean, Coco the cowgirl.
It does. I know. It kind of does. So there you go. I mean, maybe it's just Coco. Maybe I don't need Coco B. But that's why.
I love that. Yes. It's like alter ego. But I love that it just was a random auto correction. That's so funny.
So funny.
You're so cool. Coco B.
Aww, thanks. Coco B.
You have a lot of nicknames.
So it's great that Cowgirl Tea is going to have Poteet Strawberry because, that's the birthplace of George Strait. So we're going to have to go film some content in Poteet, Texas.
Okay. All right.
No.
And will we have the same Brownsboro blueberries for the blueberry and the peaches too? Right?
Yeah. All the same fruit. God, this
and they're country towns, right? And they're cowgirl towns.
Can't wait to go. So this is really funny. This is like an aside. My husband said to me last night, he goes, "Should we get an RV?" I'm like, yes. I don't know. I need some space. I need space. He goes, "Well, we don't have to sell our house, but we can get an RV and we can go all over the place." And I'm like, "You mean to Texas?"
Continue your documentary.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
So he really wants to do it. So we're actually looking at one this week that we found on Facebook Marketplace.
What?
That happens to be
in
No, it's in the Berkshires. It's where I live, and it's never been on the road.
What?
She used it. The woman used it as she was renovating her house.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
So it's like brand new.
How much does you want for it?
$68,000.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And it's a new RV?
Brand new, but it's really big.
We can
you know?
trick
Send
it
it to
out.
me. Send it to me, QB. I want to see
We're
it.
gonna trick it out. We're gonna totally trick it
It
out.
can be a
So-
filming location.
You're gonna cowgirl it out, right?
Totally. I mean, like we could wrap
Yeah.
it, right?
You can
Monty?
wrap it.
Shrink wrap it,
Yeah.
Cowgirl Tea.
Dude,
We pull up to a Kroger store and demo Cowgirl Tea. I mean, it'll be the talk of the
Yeah.
town.
and if
Oh
y'all
my
ever
gosh,
get
that is
tired of
so
living
funny.
in
I
it,
mean,
just
I
let
want-
me know because I'll hop right in and I'll just roam around.
I want a little one. I wanted a little teardrop thing to kick around in, but Doug's like, no, I want to come. He's
No,
like,
send that to me, Barbara. I want to see it. Send it to me.
yeah, well, we're going Thursday to look at it.
No, send me the advertisement. I want to see the advertisement.
Okay.
You found it
All
on
right.
some ad or somewhere, right? I just want to see
Yeah,
what they
well,
got
it
up
was on Maggie's List or something. It was like our, Maggie's List Facebook, whatever. Yeah. So
That's
it's
awesome.
She traded her high
always-
heels for cowgirl boots, and then she traded her house for an RV. And now we're really
And hit the
going,
road, Jack.
we're going
Hit
for
the road,
it.
Jack.
She's going for it, guys.
Can't do that.
I know. I'm just
Can't,
kidding. I'm just
I need
kidding.
space, guys. I need space.
That's exciting. I'm
That
excited
is.
about that. Especially you can have the RV by the time we launch all this, because we're launching at Vid Summit in Dallas, Texas, with the top creators in the world at the end of September 2026. So
My
pull up in the RV, QB.
Yeah.
Just really big. It's so big. That's the only thing. And it's like a gas guzzler. And I'm like, care about the environment. I'm like, are you sure? Is this like the right message? But we'll trick it out.
Well, the
Yeah.
fact that you're
It's in-
not flying is better. It's better than flying.
That's
And
true.
personally,
True. And I need to bring my dog. That's the whole reason for it.
Yeah.
Because I have a dog.
And that's
You can't
really
fly.
difficult too. And I'm excited because that means I'm going to get to see you more because you're going to be rolling around everywhere. So, yeah, I'm pumped for this.
I hope I can drive it. It's really big.
It'll take some getting used to, but I'm
It's
sure you'll be fine.
real. I mean, it's like, yeah. I don't know, Monty. I don't know.
I gotta see it.
I'll
Let me see.
fly up there and I'll help you guys drive it.
You
Hey,
will?
Monty is
Monty's
like
a driver.
professional
Monty
driver.
rolls, bro. He
Yeah.
rolls.
I
That's
mean,
the road.
back to my CDL days of driving a Pepsi truck and a Coke truck, I mean,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dude.
All right.
so the brand,
Right.
we never talked about the brand.
Let's go back
So-
to that.
Okay. Go ahead, Monty.
So for years, right? I mean, I've pitched Texas Tea to the world's largest retailers, right? Chains in California with 100 stores or whatever it is, and they're like, "Why do I want to sell Texas Tea in Sacramento?" Why? And in my last meeting with directors at Walmart, they're like, "We want Texas Tea in Texas stores." Well, you're not going to have it. Let's do it outside Texas. Like, no. I'm like, it's just roadblock after roadblock with the brand Texas Tea. So my thing, and it's funny, before Cowgirl Tea was ever mentioned, I just had always tried to tell Deepak, let's just make a control label. Let's make a label for Kroger nationally. I can get it in. Let's just make another label for the same product, and we'll sell 20 million a year, guaranteed. And Jaxon introduces Barbara, Coco B.
Hey.
And I'm like, well, here it is. Like now we're cooking, right? And that's the thing, is like, you change the label on, if I just walked into any retailer in this country with a blank bottle and they tried the tea, they're like, this is the best tea. Got to have it. When's the label ready? So we have the magic potion. We just got to have the right bottle.
That's right. Right packaging on that bottle.
And it's, I've dealt with, I only work with a couple of, brands, right? The brands that I can hold in a hand, right? I'm not spreading myself thin. Our group is laser focused on what we do, and we want to do it the best we can. So, there's another item that Frito-Lay has tried to knock off twice. And I met the VP at Frito. Well, he's not there anymore. He was in charge of trying to knock it off the first time, right? They just wanted, when you put magic in a package, it's people want it, right? Retailers have tried to knock it off, and the liquid we have, the liquid gold we have, in Texas Tea is the same exact thing. So we just got to have the right name and the right packaging.
Wow. What about Nashville? What do you think about Nashville, Monty?
Yeah, I mean, it's, Nashville greater Nashville area is controlled, by Kroger, right? They have the most stores. I've been there a few times. So there is, to get something done locally is hard. We would have to go through the national office because the Nashville division of Kroger has their own local Nashville tea. It's in a can. It's a Tennessee tea. I forget the name of it exactly, but so it's not a local play. It's got to go through Cincinnati on Kroger. Other than that, it's Walmart and Target, right? So, and Publix is in Tennessee now too, but Publix is very, very, very tough. They're very conservative in their innovation. They know what they do and they do it very well. There's a lot of some categories are innovative within Publix, I've noticed, but some are not. But yeah, Kroger's, is an opportunity, and Kroger has a new CEO. He's a former executive from Walmart. So Kroger's going to be changing, and they're going to become a different retailer than they've been. They've been losing the battle in some places. I mean, it's public information, based on media, share price, their quarterly earnings calls. And so they're going to get better. But change, a change of a company of 2,000 stores is very tough. And so they will evolve. So I'm confident in their new CEO that he's going to make them a good grocer and put things on the shelf that make sense and people want. So.
Great. You know a lot, Monty.
I just
a long time.
Just learn and keep your connections up and make small talk with your connections to find out the intel, right?
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
That's good advice. All right, you guys. Well, we could talk all day, but I think we should end this one here and save some for later. On the next live, we're probably going to talk more about the vertical micro drama we're creating called The Cowgirl, which is which is loosely based off of Barbara Coco B Newman's life and story. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear more about that. In the meantime, again, if you want to try Texas tea, there's a link in the chat and in the description below. Also, I will put the link to Flipstone Vintage, where I got these awesome clothes and shoes today. If you guys want to check that out, if you're in Fort Worth at any time, it's like seriously the coolest vintage shop ever. And if you have been here the whole time and you are not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. And thank Barbara, Monty, and Jaxon for coming on today. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you, Meg. We're proud of you.
Really, really appreciate our conversation. You guys are so knowledgeable, and it's really an honor to work with each of you. So we'll do this again. And until then, actually, before we go, let's take everybody just like smile as in you're taking a photo, because I might use it for the cover for the the thing. Okay, so just get in the middle of your screen, actually move everything away, and then just smile. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I sing my jingle.
The hand. Oh yeah, sing your jingle. That'll take us out. Go ahead.
Okay. This for you, QB. Texas tea. Ooh wee. Drink it, smell it. No, drink it, pop it, smell it, taste it. Tell us what you think about it. Drink it, pop it, smell it, take it.
Bro, you're getting it all wrong. Shake it, pop it. Smell
okay, yeah. Shake it, pop it, smell it, taste it. Tell us what you think about it. Shake it, pop it, smell it, taste it. Tell us what you think about it. Ooh, wee. Texas tea.
The making of another hit by Jaxon J Huffman.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
But if you guys don't know, Jaxon actually was there when Ice Ice Baby was written, and he did the choreography for the entire tour. So
totally irrelevant. But
it's not relevant. He's got it. Okay. So no matter what you think.
Cowgirl Tea.
Oh, we'll do it.
Ooh wee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dreamed. I dreamt about it last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it definitely is.
All day.
It's shake it, pop it, smell it, taste it. Tell Texans what you think about it, or tell Californians what you think about it, or tell Floridians what you think about it. So the creators are all going to get their own. Yeah, tell your fans what you think about it. Yeah. Tell your followers what you think about it. So that's the vibes. That's the vibes. And I'm thinking I still have my line dancer today. Am I have my line dancer today?
No, it's on Tuesday. But yeah, it's coming up soon.
Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday I have my line dancer. Who's going to make it?
She's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah, we got to get her.
We're like super recruiters over here.
Yeah. I mean, that's
bringing the squads. We're bringing the squads.
We're going to have major cowgirl tea parties.
Ooh. Yes.
That's fire. It's fire. It's going to be a thing.
Cowgirls are outside.
We should put the logo on teacups.
We're going to do a whole thing. We can even do a kit, like how to throw a cowgirl tea party.
That's so cute.
And you got hats, you got mug, whatever.
You got the codes of the cowgirl in there.
Codes of the cowgirl.
Yeah, somebody opens by reading the codes. They're like, let me set the stage. And they read all the codes.
It's like on, in the box, the codes or anyway, whatever. I'm very excited. I'm working on that. I'm also working on actually a book, Codes of the Cowgirl. A guide to living bold. So
much needed.
So I'm excited.
It'll be at cowgirltea.com here soon.
Hey,
very soon.
At Drink Cowgirl Tea. At Drink Cowgirl Tea
on all platforms.
Cowgirltea.com at Drink Cowgirl Tea. All right, you guys, you heard it here first. We will circle back on this for sure. And until then, I'll see you next time.
See you next time. Peace out. Peace out.
Barbara, Coco B. Peace.